Hello, grade 8. I'm Sir Wawi, your ever curious science buddy. Today, we'll dive into an exciting new topic isotopes and atomic mass. But before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you will never miss out of our science adventures. Alright, let's get started. So, our topic today, like what I've said, is isotopes and atomic mass. At lagi na natin na-encounter ang word na isotopes from week 1 to week 2. So, para mas maganda or mabibigyan linaw natin ngayon kung ano ba talaga ang isotopes. And with this topic, we'll discuss the isotopes definition, the significance of it, and the comparisons of isotopes. Okay, we'll also have a drawing and labeling of isotopes. Okay, we have the atomic mass, explanation of atomic mass, what it is, and the calculation of atomic mass. So, para sa akin, yun yung pinaka-exciting part yung calculation of atomic mass. Ano? But don't worry, it's just multiplication and addition. So, hindi na kayo mahihirapan dun. Okay? So, the third one, influence of isotopes on atomic mass. Okay, and then influence on average atomic mass. So, itong lesson na to napakaikli lang. Okay, so hopefully marami tayong makuhang kaalaman ngayong araw. Okay, so for the learning competency, the learners draw the structure of an atom in terms of the nucleus and the electron shells within an atom and differentiate the subatomic particles, the protons, neutrons, and electrons in terms of their symbol, mass, charge, and location within an atom. So as you can observe, yung learning competency natin hindi pa rin nabago. Similar sa learning competency number 2, which is talagang ito ano lang, kadugtong. Okay, ng week 2 natin. Ano? For the learning objectives, define isotopes and explain their significance in atomic structure. Second, calculate atomic mass using the relative abundance of isotopes. The third one is compare isotopes of an element in terms of number of neutrons and mass number. And then for the next one, explain the concept of atomic mass and how it is calculated. For the next one, draw and label isotopes of a given element. And lastly, we have discussed how isotopes influence the average atomic mass of an element. Okay, so hopefully medyo malinaw yung ating objectives. Okay, una daw, define muna natin yung isotopes and then explain its significance. Ano? Okay, and then calculate, okay, the atomic mass. Syempre, with the use of the relative abundance. Third, compare natin yung isotopes of an element in terms of their number of neutrons and mass number. And then, concept of atomic mass, how it is calculated. So, don't worry guys, gagamit tayo ng calculators dito. So, lastly, okay, discuss how isotopes influence the average atomic mass of an element. Ayan. So, start na tayo. So, before we begin, let's have a short review on the structure of an atom. So, as you can see, okay, we have an atom here. Okay, so let's label it first. What is this? Okay, it's correct. It's an electron. Okay, what about this one? Okay, based on the legend. Okay, it's neutron. Correct. What about this one? The red one. Okay, it's proton. And what about this one? Okay, the center of the atom. Correct. Okay, it's nucleus. What about this one? It's like a ring. It's like an orbit. Okay, so okay, correct. It's an electron shell. Okay, so within the electron shell, nandun po yung mga electron. And of course, okay, meron tayong two electron shell within this particular atom. Ano? Okay, so in addition, as you can see in the atom, how many valence electrons are there? Okay, ilan nga ang valence electron ng atom na to? Bilangin natin. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 valence electron. And as we discussed, valence electron is the electrons that can be found in the outermost electron shell. Okay, so napaka-simple lang naman ano. So hopefully natandaan pa din yun. Okay, so here, what elements is this? Based on the valence electron or based on the number of electrons that you can see. Okay, ilan ba yung electrons na nakikita niyo dyan? You can count it if you want. Okay, so correct. It's oxygen, ano? Ayan. So, next. How many valence electrons are there in oxygen? So, na-count na natin, ano? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have 6 valence electron. You can also use the group of oxygen to define or to determine, rather, the valence electron of this element. Ano? So, kung meron kayong periodic table. Next. Ayan. Ayan, so for follow-up questions, what happens if the number of protons in an atom changes? Paano nga ba ano or ano yung mangyayari, okay, sa isang atom 'pag yung number of protons ay nagbago? Okay, yun yung nasa tanong. Ayan, so doon sa tanong, ano daw yung mangyayari 'pag yung number ng proton ng isang atom nagbago? Like for example, hydrogen. Okay, we all know that hydrogen has only one proton. Ano, isa lang yung proton niya. Pero what if mga anak dagdagan ko ng isa? Okay, gawin kong dalawa. Okay, what will happen? Hydrogen pa din yon kung dinagdagan ko ng isang proton, naging dalawa, hydrogen pa din ba yon? Okay, so hindi na ano. So, dito sa tanong na to, pag binago natin yung number ng proton, okay, the element or the identity of the element also changes. Ano? Okay, tatandaan natin mga anak, the atom becomes a different element. Correct yon. Okay, kasi bawat element may specific number lamang sila ng protons. Okay, and yung one proton, it's for hydrogen alone. Two protons for helium. Three is for lithium. Okay, and so on and so forth. Ganun mga anak. Kumbaga parang may mga position na talaga sila na hindi na mo na pwedeng baguhin. And proton defines the identity of a particular element. Na pag narinig mo yung number na yon, para sa element na yun yun. Okay. And also, the protons also defines the atomic number of the element. Okay. Kung ano yung number of proton, okay, yun din ang atomic number ng element. For example, hydrogen, ang proton niya is 1. So, the atomic number of hydrogen is also 1. Okay, ganun po. Next, why is the number of protons called the atomic number? Okay, so, yun na nga, no? Sabi ko kanina, because it uniquely identifies the element. Okay. So, minsan tinatawag din na ang protons as atomic number kasi kung ano nga yung number ng protons, yun na din ang number ng atomic. Or kung ano yung number ng protons ng isang element, yun na din yung kanyang atomic number. Okay, hindi na nababago. Okay, kumbaga itong dalawa parang it's like they are twins. Ano, but not totally they are the same. They are different. Ano, so kumbaga when it comes to number, hindi sila magkaparehas lagi sila. Okay, next. So observe and answer. So observe the table. Ano, what can you observe in the table? So we have element carbon 12, carbon 13, and carbon 14. When it comes to the number of protons, we have 6. When it comes to the number of electrons, we have 6. Okay, di ba pag sinabi nating same number of electron and proton, okay, ano nga yung element na yan? Anong tawag natin sa element? Kapag parehas yung number of electron and proton, they are electrically neutral. Ano, so how about the number of neutrons? Do you think that this atoms are the same when it comes to the number of neutrons? Okay, so tama ano. So they have different numbers of neutrons. So yung carbon 12, merong 6 neutrons. Okay, yung carbon 13 may 7. And then the carbon 14 we have 8 neutrons. Okay. So what do you call atoms of the same element that have different numbers of neutrons? Like in our previous discussion in week 2, ano yung sabi ni Sir Wawi na kapag parehas na element, okay, at nagkaiba lang sila sa number of neutrons, anong tawag natin sa kanila? Okay, correct. It's isotopes. Okay, so may narinig ako sa inyo last, okay, nung nagdi-discuss ako ng topic na to, isotopes daw. Okay, hindi yan isotopes ha, isotopes. Ano, pinapatawa niyo palagi ako. Okay, so for our activity number 1, shape up your science words. So for the objectives, students will identify and correctly spell key vocabulary words related to atoms and isotopes by arranging shapes in the correct order based on the given clues. So we have our PowerPoint presentation. So for the instructions, read the definition provided at the top of the page. Okay, meron pong na definition as your clue. Okay, second, look at the arrangement of the shapes. Okay, at that bottom po yun. May arrangement po ng shapes sa bottom part. And then, meron ding shapes sa taas. Yung nasa taas ng mga shapes, may mga letter. Okay, so naka-jumbled letter yon. So, bubuuhin natin. So, para mabuo mo yon, susundin mo kung ano yung arrangement ng mga shapes sa baba. Kung ang nauuna yung circle, iuuna mo yung circle. At then, para mag-come up tayo dun sa pinaka-word. Okay, so tingnan natin. Sige, let's start. So for the definitions or clue, atoms of the same element with different number of neutrons. Okay, ano daw yung element? Same element, na magkaiba lang when it comes to the number of neutrons. Okay, so ano yung nauunang shape? Ano yung color ng shape na nauuna sa baba? Pink. So may I na tayo. Pangalawa, yung dilaw, square, S. Okay, and then the third, yung cylinder. Pangalawa, or pangatlo rather, is yung violet or purple. Oh, so hanggang mag-come up tayo dun sa pinaka word, So, ano po yung word? It's isotopes. Okay, correct. Nakuha. Okay, so that next one. Ayan. So, what about this one? Two words yan. So, defined by the number of protons which remain constant across isotopes. Ito yung kahit magbago yung neutrons, hindi ito pwedeng mabago. Kasi pag mabago, it will change the identity of the element. Ano siya? Two words. Okay, correct. It's atomic number. Ayan. So, hindi yan pwedeng mabago. Mabago na. Okay, yung tibok ng pustaris. Mabago na yung neutron, wag lang ito. Kasi pag nabago to, mababago din yung identity ng element. Okay, so next. What about this one? Okay, the sum of protons and neutrons which varies among isotopes. Okay, nagkakaiba ito sa mga isotopes. Okay, ito lang naman na yung makukuha mo pag pinag-add mo daw yung number ng protons at number ng neutrons. Like for example, sa carbon. Okay, yung carbon natin may 6 protons and may 6 neutrons. Pag pinag-plus mo yung dalawa, 6 plus 6, 12, that's the number of carbon. Okay, so yun po yung ating tinatawag na mass number. Ipag-a-add lang po natin yung number ng protons and neutrons. Marunong ba kayo mag-add? Sige nga, 1 plus 1. Okay, so next. Ayan, so the weighted average mass of elements isotopes based on their relative abundance. Mayroon tayong two words. Yan daw yung weighted average, okay, nung elements isotopes. Okay, based on the relative abundance, it's atomic mass. Okay, hindi ko napalitan. Kitang-kita naman na mass yan, It's atomic mass. So, palitan na natin dito. So, for those teachers na naka-avail, you can change naman din. Okay, you can easily change kasi editable naman po lahat ng atin. So, it's a typographical error. So, here, let's go back. It's atomic mass. Okay, the weighted average. Tatandaan natin, ang mga elements, mga anak, pwede silang mag-exist in different isotopes. Like, for example, we have carbon-12, carbon-13, and carbon-14. Okay, meron silang kanya-kanyang mass. Okay, So, pag pinagsama daw natin yung mass, okay, ng mga isotopes ng carbon na yon, at kinuha natin yung average noon, makukuha natin yung kanyang atomic mass, which is nakikita natin sa periodic table. Okay? Next. What about this one? The proportion of each isotope present in the sample. Okay? The proportion of each isotope which is present in the sample. Okay? So, tingnan natin, it's relative abundance. Pag sinabi natin mga anak na relative abundance is kung gaano ba ka-common, okay, yung isotopes na yan. Like, for example, like, sabi ko na kanina, carbon 12, 13, and 14. Dito sa tatlong isotopes ng carbon, alin dyan? Okay. Yung may pinakamadami. Okay, may pinakamadaming or pinakamadalas makita sa nature. Okay, titingnan natin. Okay, at yung percentage na makukuha natin kung gaano sila kadami sa nature, yun yung tinatawag nating relative abundance. Okay, next. For our activity number 2, exploring the importance of isotopes, for the objectives to understand the significance of isotopes in science by examining selected examples and discussing their application in various fields. We have our PowerPoint presentation. So for the instructions, review the selected isotopes provided and familiarize yourself with their basic properties. Participate in a class discussion about the importance and applications of these isotopes in real life situations. And for the third one, answer the guide questions based on the discussion and your understanding of the topic. So, dito sa ating activity number 2, meron lang po si Sir Wawi ng mga selected isotopes which is aligned po sa ating lesson exemplar. And makikita din natin, nagdagdag lang po ako ng dalawa. Okay, for siyempre additional din ano. So, i-discuss natin yung kanilang uses. Saan ba madalas ginagamit or ano yung kahalagahan ng mga isotopes na nakikita natin in nature? May gamit ba sila? Do you think that they are important? Okay. And the answer is yes. Okay. Actually, yung mga isotopes we used. Okay. Scientists use isotopes in different purposes, like for example, in medicine. Okay, so gumagamit tayo ng mga isotopes para sa diagnosis and treatment ng sakit. Okay, gaya like for example ng cancer or ng mga thyroid problems. Ginagamit din siya sa archaeology, yung ating mga isotopes. Like for example, paano ba natin malalaman or matitrace yung age ng particular fossils. Okay, so through the use of isotopes, okay, nade-determine natin yung age no um, or natitrace natin yung age no isang fossil. Kaya nga, ah, yung mga age ng mga nakikita nating fossil ng mga dinosaurs, natitrace natin kung gaano na sila kung ano na yung kanilang mga edad. Okay, hanggang ngayon. So, pwede rin gamitin sila sa agriculture, yung mga isotopes natin. Okay, nakakatulong ang mga isotopes sa pag-aaral kung paano, like for example, sumipsip ng nutrients ang mga halaman. Okay, and then in industry, ginagamit sa pag-check ng mga metal parts or pipelines kung may crack or leak. Okay, kumbaga tracer method yung ginagamit siya. And then, of course, in science research, ang dami. Okay, ang daming application ng isotopes sa science research. Okay, it helps scientists understand, of course, the atomic structure and natural processes of an atom. Okay, so, sige, ano ba yung una kong pinili na isotopes? Okay, what element is this? Based on the symbol, don't count the electrons kasi ang dami. Okay, so, based on the symbol, anong isotopes yan? Okay, or anong element rather muna. Okay, it's technetium-99. Actually, technetium-99 is an isotope of technetium. Okay, so saan ba siya ginagamit? Saan ginagamit ang technetium-99? Okay, it is an isotopes, okay, which is crucial in diagnostic imaging, allowing for non-invasive internal scans to detect medical conditions. So, sa medicine siya ginagamit. Okay, ang daming mahalaga yan. Okay, kasi nga, it can help to treat a particular okay, disease, okay, or diagnosis. So next, what about this one? Okay, based on the symbol, it's carbon. And ano kayang isotope siya? It's carbon-14. Okay, so saan naman ginagamit ang carbon-14? So carbon-14 helps scientists determine the age of fossils, artifacts, and geological samples, providing valuable information about past civilizations and natural history. Tinan niyo mga anak, ang carbon-14 ang galing. Ginagamit siya sa radiocarbon dating para malaman natin yung age ng particular fossils, kung gaano na siya katagal. Okay, kung tatanungin niyo ako, Sir, paano po yun nalalaman? Kasi mga anak, yung carbon-14 natin is radioactive isotopes. Meron tayong two types ng isotopes eh. Stable isotopes and then radioactive isotopes. At itong carbon-14 is radioactive isotopes. Okay? Um, ang mga radioactive isotopes mga anak is may mga half-life. Okay? May mga half-life sila. Kaya, yung half-life ng bawat isotopes, yun yung ginagamit ng mga scientist, okay, para ma-determine, okay, yung age ng isang fossils. Like for example, ito ang sa carbon-14. Okay, next. What about this one? It's cobalt-60. Okay, so the element is cobalt and the isotope is cobalt-60. So cobalt-60 is applied in radiation therapy to target and destroy cancer cells while minimizing damage to surrounding healthy tissue. So tingnan niyo mga anak, though they are isotopes, ang dami nilang applications, okay? Which is one of the breakthrough in science that we can be proud of. Okay, so next, what about this one? Uranium-235. Though it's radioactive, malaki din yung importansya nitong uranium-235. Saan po ba siya ginagamit? Okay, so isotopes like uranium-235 are used as fuel. Fuel po in nuclear reactors to generate power through nuclear fission. Okay, so ayan. So ang dami lang uses. Okay, kung marunong lang talaga yung ang tao, gamitin sila in a good way. Okay, ang dami nitong magiging benefits. Okay, especially sa humanity and to the world. Ano? Okay, next. So, meron akong follow-up questions mga anak based on the importance of isotopes that we discuss. So, why do scientists use isotopes instead of regular atoms in some experiments? Bakit tayo gumagamit ng mga isotopes? Instead na yung original atom yung ating gamitin. Okay, so for the answer, scientists use isotopes instead of regular atoms because isotopes can have special properties. May mga special properties kasi sila na minsan ay wala or hindi makita dun sa common atom. Like being radioactive. Okay, di ba yung mga atom naman mo na nasa mostly yung kanilang common is stable. Ano? So, ang mga isotopes natin, yung iba is radioactive, which help in experiments, okay? Especially in medical imaging or dating samples. Okay, for example, yung ating radioactive isotopes ng carbon na carbon-14 is used to find the age of fossils. Ano? Pakakanina pa ako ng fossils, hindi alam ang fossils. Ano? When we say fossils in biology, in biology, it is the remains of dead plants and animals. Kumbaga, yun yung pinaka-remains na. Okay. Next. Okay, for activity number 3, mastering atomic number, mass number, atomic mass, and relative abundance. So for the objectives to understand and apply the concepts of atomic number, mass number, atomic mass, and relative abundance through guided discussions and calculation exercises. So we have our PowerPoint presentation. Okay, nandito na tayo sa calculation. I'm so excited, guys. Okay, so for the instructions, listen and participate actively in the discussion about atomic number, mass number, and atomic mass, and relative abundance. So for the second one, take note of the formulas, of course, the equation, and examples provided for calculating atomic mass and interpreting relative abundance. For the third one, solve the given calculation problems accurately and answer the guide questions based on your understanding of the lesson. Okay, so mga anak, don't worry, meron naman tayong step-by-step process, okay, sa calculation. Hindi kayo mahihirapan kasi may step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, so next. So before we continue, syempre, let us first highlight or clear these terms para mas maintindihan natin. Okay, let's start with atomic number. Pag sinabi nating atomic number is the number of protons in an atom. Like what I've said earlier in our review part, yung number ng protons defines the atomic number of an element. Okay, kung ano yung number ng protons, let's say 2. Okay, it's helium. So the atomic number is 2 also. Okay? Pag sinabi naman nating mass number is the total number of protons and neutrons in an atom. We just need to add the 2, okay, to get the mass number. Okay? Napakadali lang, mag-a-add lang. Okay, bilang-bilang lang sa kamay. Okay, so for the next one, we have atomic mass. Okay, so the atomic mass is the weighted average mass of an element's isotopes based on their natural abundance. It reflects the average mass of all the isotopes of an element according to Hill and Kolb, okay, in 2001. Okay, so here, ano ba yung atomic mass natin? Para mas clear mga anak, sabi ko kanina, ang isang element pwede siyang mag-exist in different isotopes. Pwedeng mabago yung neutrons, pero hindi na babago yung protons. Okay, di ba? Iko-compare ko lang mga anak since kaka-card cubing lang natin. Tayo sa school. Okay, ikaw anak. Ilan ang subject natin? We have 8 subjects. Ano, commonly. Ayan, dun sa 8 subjects ninyo mga anak, meron kayong kanya-kanyang grades. Okay, di ba? Let's say 81 sa Filipino, 82 sa English, okay, and so on and so forth. Doon sa mga grades na yon, kukunin natin yung inyong general average. Yung general average mo, let's say it's 90. Okay, with honors. Yung 90 na yon, okay, yun yung atomic mass in comparison. Okay, kumbaga, okay, let's say ikaw ay nag-exist sa 8. Pinag-add mo yung 8, dinivide sa 8. Okay, nakuha mo yung yung average. Okay, that's your atomic mass. Okay, ganun. Okay, yun yung atomic mass. So, hopefully naman is na-gets. Okay, like for example, carbon 12, 13, 14, meron silang kanya-kanyang masses. Okay, And pag inad natin yung kanilang mga masses or depending on their abundance in nature, okay, makukuha natin yung kanyang atomic mass. Okay? Next, so for the relative abundance, ito yung gagamitin natin. Okay, para makuha din natin yung um, atomic mass ng element. Okay, hindi basta-basta kasi iba-iba mga anak ang relative abundance ng bawat isotopes. Okay, so pag sinabi natin relative abundance, the relative abundance of an isotope is the percentage of that isotope found in nature. It is used to calculate the atomic mass of an element. Balik tayo sa carbon. Mayroong carbon-12, 13, 14. Sa tatlong yan, saan ang may pinakamadami? Okay, na available sa nature. Is it carbon-12, 13, or 14? So, titingnan natin later. Yun yung relative abundance, which is expressed in percentage. Okay. So, review tayo for the atomic number. Let's start with carbon. So, the number of protons of carbon is 6. So, atomic number is also 6 because, ano nga ulit? The number of protons defines the atomic number of an element. Okay. Next, we have oxygen. Okay, pag sinabi na yung oxygen naman, number of protons, we have 8. For the atomic number, of course, it's also 8. For nitrogen, number of protons, 7. For the atomic number, it's also 7. And for the hydrogen, number of protons, 1. And for atomic number is also 1. Okay, ganun sila. Hindi sila pwedeng magkaiba. Kasi pag nagkaiba yan, ay nako, ibang element yon. Okay, next, for mass number. Paano naman natin makukuha ang mass number, mga anak? We just have to add the number of what? Protons and neutrons of an element. Okay, so for carbon, carbon has 6 protons and 6 neutrons. So just add it up. So 6 plus 6 is 12. That's the mass number of carbon. Okay, what about for oxygen? Okay, so for oxygen, the number of protons of oxygen is 8. And the number of neutrons is also 8. So you just have to add it up. 8 plus 8 is equal to 16. Napakadali. Okay, so add lang ng add. Bilang-bilang lang sa kamay pag may time. Okay, so for nitrogen, the number of protons, we have 7. For the number of neutrons, 7 also. And of course, 7 plus 7 is 14. Okay, what about for hydrogen? Okay, so for hydrogen in this case, number of protons is 1 and for the number of neutrons, 0. Okay, and for mass number, 1 plus 0 siyempre 1. Ano? Next. Ayan, so for relative abundance, okay, for carbon, ayan, sabi ko nga sa inyo, na-express siya in percentage. We have carbon-12 and carbon-13 here as an example. So carbon-12, okay, 98.9% ng carbon sa buong mundo is carbon-12. Tandaan mga anak. Yun ang sabi ko ha, 98.9% daw ng carbon sa buong mundo is carbon-12 lahat. Okay, ang carbon-13 lang is konti lang. 1.1%. Kumbaga para siyang pwede nating i-compare as the population of it. Pero not totally ha, not totally. In that case, compare lang natin doon. Kumbaga, pinakamadami na imbak na isotopes ng carbon is carbon-12. Okay, next. What about this one? Chlorine. We have chlorine 35. The relative abundance is 75% in nature. And chlorine 37 is 25% in nature. So, mas madami ang chlorine 35 compare sa chlorine 37. Okay, nakukuha. Don't worry, yung mga teachers natin is bibigay naman sa atin yung relative abundance. Hindi tayo pahuhulain dyan. Okay? Okay, pero kung gusto niyo ng thrill, pwede kayo ipa-plunk ng teachers and kayo maghanap sa internet. Okay? Nitrogen. Okay, so for nitrogen 14, 99.63% ng nitrogen is nitrogen 14. Yung nitrogen 15 natin, napakakonti. It's 0.37% only. Okay. Next, what about bromine? Okay, so bromine 7 to 9 is the relative abundance is 50.7%, while bromine 8 is relative abundance 49.3%. Halos magkadikit lang sila, ano? Okay, so hopefully, na gets natin yung relative abundance. Pag sinabi natin relative abundance, kung gaano sila kadalas makita Okay, sa nature. Okay, next. Okay, ayan. So for the atomic mass, ayan, this is the formula, okay, or the equation for atomic mass. Okay, paano ba natin yung basahin mga anak? So atomic mass equals the sum, okay, of the relative abundance of each isotope multiplied by each or its mass number. Ulit, atomic mass equals the sum of the relative abundance of each isotope multiplied by its mass number. Okay, so don't worry, may step-by-step process naman tayo dyan mga anak. Kaya hindi na tayo mahihirapan. Okay, so here. So step 1, okay, ano ba yung una natin gagawin sa pagsosolve? Convert abundance percentage to decimals. So since given na naman yung percentage, okay, ng ating bawat isotopes, all you have to do is to convert, okay, that percentage into decimal. Paano po ba sir nagko-convert ng percentage sa decimal? Napakadali lang mga anak. Okay, you just have to divide the percentage. Alisin natin yung percent, yung number. I-divide lang natin siya sa 100. Let's say for example, 75%. Okay, divide natin 75 divided by 100. Okay, so makukuha na natin yung decimal point niya. Okay, so don't worry, papagamitin ko kayo. You are allowed to use calculator. Sige na. Okay. Next, step 2, multiply each mass by its decimal abundance. Okay, so pagkatapos natin na makuha yung decimal point nung percentage ng abundance, i-multiply naman natin siya dun sa mass, okay, nung isotopes. Okay, third, add natin yung results. Okay, and then round to appropriate significant figures based on the given data. Okay, only for significant figures. Okay, tandaan natin na for significant figures lang po. Ano? Next. Ayan, so for the atomic mass, let's say we have problem number 1. Chlorine has two main isotopes. Meron siyang two main isotopes. Ano yung chlorine? Chlorine 35 and chlorine 37. Ang mass po, okay, ng chlorine 35 is 34.969 AMU atomic mass unit at ang kanyang abundance or relative abundance in nature is 75.8%. Okay, while chlorine 37, ang kanyang mass naman is 36.966 AMU or atomic mass unit at ang kanya namang relative abundance is 24.2%. Ang tanong is you have to calculate the atomic mass of chlorine. Pag na-calculate natin yung atomic mass ng chlorine, yun po yung makikita nating atomic mass na nasa periodic table. Okay, para pala natin i-correct din, meron na ba kayong periodic table? Okay, so ano nga ulit yung step 1? Ko-convert muna natin into decimal point. Okay, convert abundance percentage to decimal point. Okay, sige, unahin natin yung chlorine 35. Chlorine 35, ang abundance niya is 75.8% based on the given. Pag kinonvert natin siya into decimal, we can get 0.758. Paano nga nag-convert into decimal? You have to just divide the percentage into 100. I know 75.8 divided by 100 is equal to 0.758. Okay, next we have chlorine 37. Ang kanyang relative abundance is 24.2% at ang kanya namang decimal. Okay. Okay, pag change natin sa decimal is 0.242. Okay, ngayon, na-convert na natin sa decimal point. Ano nga yung second step? Ita-times natin sa kanyang mass. Okay, so ita-times daw sa mass. So chlorine 35, ano ang mass ng chlorine 35? 34.969 AMU. Tapos ita-times natin dun sa decimal point na nakuha natin kanina, which is 0.758. Okay, makakakuha tayo ng 26.514. And for chlorine 37, okay, ano yung mass niya? 36.966 AMU times 0.242, their abundance, we can get 8.940. Okay, so, and then we just have to add 26.514 plus 8.940. Okay, add the results. Okay, and then the last steps, round to appropriate significant figures based on a given data, which is for significant figures. So for the atomic mass of chlorine, the atomic mass of chlorine is 35.45 AMU. Okay, so nabadali ba mga anak? Okay, napakadali, right? So let's have another example. Let's say magnesium. Okay, so yung magnesium, meron tayong three, okay, isotopes of magnesium here. So for magnesium 24, the mass is 23.985 AMU. And for the abundance, we have 78.99%, while magnesium 25 is 24.986 AMU or atomic mass unit. And for the abundance is 10%. And for magnesium 26, it's 25.983 for AMU and the abundance is 11.01%. First step, okay, convert muna natin yung percentage into decimal. Okay. Second, ita-times natin yung na-convert natin into the atomic mass. Okay. And then we will just have to add the results. Okay. And then, round off. Kailangan ay four significant figures. So we can get 24.30 AMU. And that's the atomic mass of magnesium. Okay. Next. Okay, so hopefully, okay na tayo dun sa problem solving. You can practice din naman sa bahay. Ano? Yan, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. Don't worry mga anak, magbibigay pa ako ng madaming example sa board natin. Okay, so influence of isotopes on atomic mass. Ano ba yung influence ng isotopes on atomic mass? Meron ba? Okay, first one is the weighted average. Okay, so the atomic mass of an element is calculated by taking the average of all its isotopes masses, considering how common each isotope is. Okay, so dito ang atomic mass ng isang element ay hindi basta-basta average lang ng lahat ng isotopes, mga anak. Halimbawa, kung mas common ang carbon 12 kaysa carbon 13, syempre mas malaki yung contribution ng carbon 12 sa atomic mass. Okay, kung sino yung pinakamadami doon. Okay, so yung mas malaki yung contribution sa atomic mass. Okay, next. More abundant isotopes. Okay, so next, the isotopes that occurs more often has a bigger effect on the average atomic mass, pulling it closer to its own mass. Okay, para mga grade lang natin mga anak. Okay, may 8 subjects tayo. Kung sino doon yung may pinakamataas, let's say, science is 90 and the rest of the subject is 85. Siyempre, ang science ang hihila. Okay, hihila. Okay, malaki yung magiging ambag noon sa iyong general average. Okay, next. Less abundant isotopes. Rare isotopes contribute less, so they only slightly change, okay, the atomic mass away from the most common isotopes. Kumbaga, wala namang masyadong epekto kung less abundant ka. Okay, kumbaga, let's say yung sa ibang element, isotopes 99%, tas yung ibang isotopes ay 1% lamang. So, kung ikaw ay napaka-konti, wala kang masyadong ambag. Okay, hindi ka masyadong makaka-apekto sa atomic mass ng isang element. Okay, and then for the next one, not a whole number. Okay, because the atomic mass is an average of different isotopes, it is usually a decimal, not exact whole number like the mass of individual isotopes. I know. So, kasi nga, ang ating atomic mass is a general average. Pinagsasama-sama natin yung mga masses at kinukuha natin yung weighted average, lagi yung nakadecimal na parang hindi talaga or parang point, siguro hindi talaga makakota yung whole number. Lagi yung naka-decimal. Okay? Next. Ayan, element identity. Different isotopes of an element have the same chemical behavior, but the mix of isotopes changes the measure of atomic mass. Okay, paano ba natin ito ipapaliwanag? So, dito sa ating element identity, ang atomic mass ay syempre nakakatulong din mga anak no, para makilala natin yung elements sa scientific calculations at chemical formulas. Halimbawa, kapag alam mo ang average atomic mass ng isang atoms, malalaman mo kung anong elemento yung pinag-uusapan natin. Okay, like for example, balikan natin yung kanina. Let's say 24.30 AMU. Malalaman natin yan, it's for magnesium. Okay, so parang ganun lang. Ayan. So next, follow-up question. Why is the atomic mass of an element usually not a whole number? Bakit hindi nga naka-whole number? Bakit decimal? Kasi yun yung weighted. Okay, because this is the weighted average of all elements isotopes, not just one isotope. Second, which isotope affects the atomic mass more? The more abundant one or the less abundant one? Ano yung may mas nakakaapekto? Siyempre, yung mas madami, the more abundant isotopes. Next. Ayan. So, we will proceed in the formative assessment. Thank you so much. And hopefully, meron tayong natutunan ngayong araw. So, for assessment of identifying and labeling isotopes. Ayan. What are isotopes? Correct. Isotopes are atoms of the same element with different number of neutrons. Don't forget that. Okay. Label the following isotopes of carbon 12, 13, 14. Indicate the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons for each isotope. Sige nga. Based on my discussion kanina, kung natatandaan, ano yung number ng protons ng carbon? Okay, syempre, pare-parehas yan. Hindi yan magbabago. Okay, and then electrons, they are electrically neutral. So, ang possible mabago lang dyan ay yung number of neutrons. Sige. What is the answer? Okay, correct. Ano? Ayan, tama ba kayo? Sige, pa-check ka na lang, ha? Next, how do isotopes of an element differ from each other? Paano ba nagkakaiba yung isotopes of an element? Okay, correct. Its isotopes differ in the number of neutrons and hence their mass number. Okay, next. Which isotope of hydrogen has one proton and one neutron? Hindi ko to nabanggit kanina mga anak. Actually, ang hydrogen, meron siyang three, known isotopes. Okay, the protium, deuterium, and um, tritium. Okay, so yung ating protium, wala talaga siyang neutron. Okay, and then for deuterium, meron siyang neutron. And then the tritium. Okay, so here, which isotope of hydrogen has one proton? So it's deuterium, like what I've said. Okay, next for number 5, why do isotopes of the same element have the same chemical properties? Correct. Isotopes have the same chemical properties because they have the same number of protons and electrons, which determine chemical behaviors. Ayan. So, formative assessment, calculate. Okay, computations. So, for number 1, calculate atomic mass of boron. Okay, so meron tayong boron 10, boron 11. Ang mass ng boron 10 is 10.0129 AMU at ang abundance niya is 19.9%. While in boron 11, ang kanyang mass is 11.0093 AMU at ang kanyang abundance naman is 80.1%. So, you just have to first convert the percentage into decimal point. Okay, and then multiply the decimal into the mass number. Step 3, add the results. And round appropriately. Nakuha ba? Okay, so next. For our second problem, determine the atomic mass of neon using its isotopes. And for third problem, what is the atomic mass of chlorine given these isotopes? So mga anak, you can pause this video para makuha natin, okay, or makapag-solve kayo. Okay? Sige. So for the answer for number 2, same steps lang din mga anak. Convert muna tayo sa yung percentage into decimal point. Then, multiply natin sa kanyang mass, add the results, and then get the answer by rounding it appropriately. Ano? Okay, so for atomic mass of neon, we have 20.18 AMU. Okay, so for the next one, for problem 3, this is the answer. Same steps. Okay, para makuha natin yung pinaka-atomic mass, which is 35.46 AMU. Okay. And comparison charts of isotopes. What is the primary difference between isotopes of the same element? Correct. The primary difference is the number of neutrons. Okay. Why is carbon-14 used in radiocarbon dating but not carbon-12? Okay, carbon-14 is radioactive and decays over time, making it useful for dating, whereas carbon-12 is stable. Okay, so for number 3, how does the mass number of an isotope affect its atomic mass? Paano ba nakaka-apekto yung mass number? Ayan, the mass number directly influences the atomic mass as it is the sum of protons and neutrons. Okay, next. Explain one application of carbon-14 in archaeology. Saan nga ginagamit? To trace what? Okay, carbon-14 is used in radiocarbon dating to determine the age of archaeological samples by measuring the decay of carbon-14. Okay, next. How is technetium-99 used in medical diagnostics? Paano nga ginagamit? Okay, is used in medical diagnostics as a radioactive tracer in imaging to detect abnormalities in organs. What about this one? What role do isotopes play in nuclear power generation? Ano ang isotopes yung ginagamit natin to power a nuclear power plants? Okay, so sige, ano pa ba? Correct. Isotopes like uranium-235 are used as fuel in nuclear reactors to generate power through nuclear fission. Okay, so that's it. Hopefully, meron tayong natutunan mga anak ngayon. Okay? Thank you so much and God bless everyone.